All right, y'all. It's day 3 of the 30-day posting on YouTube challenge, and here I am. Today, I have made significant progress on my office. I've kind of got things set back up in a way that feels good for me. A little backstory on this office is that I actually haven't used this office, I don't think, this year. And this used to be a space that I loved coming to. This was a space where I could focus. This space supported me creating my bookkeeping business. Um, it supported my spiritual healing. I got back into art in this room. I would also use this room to decompress after work. So this space supported me, or supported a past version of me wonderfully. But at some point, this space I didn't feel inspired to come in here anymore. So I didn't. And what ended up happening was I started using it kind of like storage. And I just started throwing stuff in here. But I've been wanting to redo this space for a while. And at the same time, even though I really wanted to do this, I was feeling a lot of resistance. And when I say resistance, what I mean is, like, I want to do this thing, but at the same time, I don't. I don't want to do this thing. It feels like a big task. There's a lot to do. It's going to be time consuming, blah, blah, blah. And the way old Margaret would have handled that resistance is she would have pushed through it and did it anyway. And that sounds noble, right? That sounds like, good on you, girl. You did that. Like, you pushed through. But this Margaret who is stepping into a different version of herself, she's a person who wants to follow her energy and follow her aligned steps. So this time around, I chose to do things a little differently. I gave myself a lot of grace, and I decided if I don't feel like doing it, I'm not going to do it. And of course, I'm not talking about things that would jeopardize my survival, like going to work at a job. I don't really want to do that, but at this point in time, it's the best thing to do. But I'm talking about things that don't impact that, of course. And redoing my office is definitely one of those things. So I'll give you an example. There'd be some days that I would have already planned the day before, like, I'm going to go in that office and I'm going to work on some things. Then that day would come and I wouldn't feel like doing that thing. And some people would call that procrastination. I definitely sure did at one point, but not this new Margaret. This new Margaret, she's not going to waste her energy doing things that she doesn't really want to do. So instead, when that feeling of resistance comes up, she takes it as a signal that maybe now's not the time. And she doesn't guilt herself about it because she's like, well, if now is not the time, then that just means that the time will be a different time. So I don't have to worry about it because I'm going to do it when the time is right. So I'll let it go. And what would happen a lot of times is, I would feel like doing it the very next day. Or it'd be a completely random day that I had no intention or wasn't even thinking about it. And I would feel like, you know what? I just want to do a little something. And I also didn't pressure myself to complete it. That was another old Margaret pattern. It's like when you start something, you finish it. No. I was like, I'll do as much as I feel like doing. And that's enough. And that's what I did. And I've done that over a period of time. And since starting the 30-day challenge, I had decided to come back in here. As you saw in the previous 2 videos, it was looking kind of, I was just showing that basic back wall, and I kind of reset up my lights and stuff. So it's already evolved just by me naturally doing something I was going to do anyway. And when I waited until it felt good to do, it was easier. It was so much easier. I've definitely heard in the productivity world, and I was very much in the productivity world for a long time, and I'm breaking a lot of those habits. But they say don't wait for motivation because motivation is fleeting. Show up anyway, even when you're not motivated. And that does have some merit sometimes. But is doing my office one of those big things that I need to be putting that much pressure on myself about? How many things do we put that much pressure on ourselves about that's really even not that important? So my thought was, before I started doing things this way, was what if motivation is the signal that this is the right time? What if that's like a little confirmation of alignment? And I'm not saying this for every time, but when you're just avoiding something, or when you just really don't feel like doing it, like this isn't the right time. And when I allow myself to do it that way, look, here I am. It's completed. I didn't need to pressure myself to do it. It was easy. I did it when I felt like it. I thought about a Tony Jones song, and one of the things she said in there, and I feel this so much, is she said, I release the belief that I procrastinate. I release the belief that I procrastinate. Look at the time that I'm doing these videos. I'm doing this at night. Usually Margaret is get up in the morning, get all the things done first thing, all the important things you need to knock it out. I didn't feel like doing it this morning, but I felt like doing it this evening, so here I am. So was I procrastinating? Or was I following my own aligned timing? All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one.